welcome to the LEC 2025 Summer Finals live from the Calle Mágica in Madrid, Spain. 4 LEC teams entered at the base of the mountain, and today Movistar KOI and G2 will battle it out on top in the final ascent to the LEC Summer Championship title. A grueling gauntlet awaits as we are 60 minutes away from the start of our first games, meaning I have an hour to talk to you together with my analysts. My name is Shox, joined by Goldberg and Finn. We'll have a bunch of special guests, and Jack Spector will also be joining us in just a little bit as we see Movistar KOI arriving at the arena. Really, the heroes of today? Maybe, Finn.
I mean, most definitely. I think the whole arena will be shouting their name today. They are the clear home favorites here in this amazing crowd that we're accomplishing here in Madrid.
And what an amazing few days we've had here. We've been blessed with the top 4 we've had, because you never really knew how it was going to go. On the day, it always felt like it was the team that was performing the best, but there wasn't that certainty that we've so often has had in the LEC. The top 4 we've had, it's just been an amazing experience to really just relive.
It has been, and I think a lot of our colleagues were jealous when we went to the road trip in Madrid, which already gave us a wonderful taste of what this could be. So Finn, tell us, now that you've been here as well, talk to me about the Spanish fans.
I was jealous, and there's just no comparing hearing them. Whenever MKOI clears the ward, the whole arena is erupting every single time. You feel their passion, you feel their energy, and it's absolutely galvanized.
And I gotta say that we did a fan meet yesterday. I did see a lot of G2 shirts as well, and when it comes to fan bases in Europe, Fnatic also had a lot the last couple of days, but I think it will never be 50-50, but there are some very die-hard G2 fans that are going to scream their lungs out today.
The deck is stacked against them, certainly, but I agree with you. I've seen a couple as well, and they've had the fire, they've had the passion, they've been very willing to say that they think G2 is the best
I like
team.
that. The deck is a little bit stacked against them, and maybe for Movistar KOI. We'll dive into that a little later. But first, we wanted to show you a bit of the sights here in Madrid, because we have our wonderful Expo as well. So let's take a look.
Hemos venido aquí para ver un poco el panorama, cómo está por Plaza España.
Pues disfrutar un poquito del sitio, ¿no? Lo tienen muy bien montado, hemos hecho el quiz del LOL, ahora nos vamos a sacar unos fotillos por ahí.
Fans are really everywhere. Like, there are so many things to try. So it's very interactive for fans to come around and just try different things. ¡Vamos!
Me parece una iniciativa muy bonita para juntar a toda la comunidad española y los visitantes que están aquí también de otros países.
Ahora mismo llevamos el pasaporte en la mano, vamos a hacer lo de los sellos.
Collecting stuff is very cool. You can collect pins and you can collect your stamps and you can get some rewards.
Estamos en un juego para el tema del smite y demás y practicar, y por suerte he smiteado bien y me he llevado, gracias a Dios, una camiseta y nada, feliz de venir.
Hemos visto que hay una máquina de gancho de gacha y me encantan esas cosas, así que yo voy a por ello. El yo ya, te quiero, te amo, me encantas, tengo novio pero realmente no.
So we are at the LEC Expo, and here at the Red Bull booth, we are teaching people how to play 2xKO. And I think it's amazing that so many people are enjoying the game, learning new combos, play fighting games, because they are the best.
Estamos aquí en el booth de Rebound haciendo un pequeño tutorial para que la gente que quiera venir a aprender, disfrutándolo bastante, que creo que es un juego que va a molar muchísimo, a la gente le va a gustar seguro.
It's me, the best noob in the world here, and I'm at the LEC Expo in Madrid, and I'm sweating, but there's a lot of lovely people here, okay? Say hello! Hello! Yo!
Hola, yo soy Carmen Sandwich.
Hola, soy Sendo.
Y estamos aquí, hemos hecho un meet and greet. La expo súper bien, tiene un montón de cosas, de cosplays, de regalos, increíble, muchísima gente. Le está firmando el culo, Kesa. No way.
Estamos en el stand de Kia jugando al Speed Test y todo el mundo que participa pues tiene un granizado gratis.
Pues aquí en el stand de ExpressVPN hay un jueguecillo que salta torretas y por venir te llevas ya 14 días de ExpressVPN, con lo cual no está nada mal.
Estamos aquí en la cabina de Twitch y aquí tenemos que encontrar 5 papeletas de Twitch con el logo morado para conseguir un regalo personalizado.
Hinchar un globo hasta que pete, y el que lo pete antes, pues gana. Como podéis oír, aún sigo cansado.
por supuesto vamos a animar, bueno, yo estoy animando a Koi, así que vamos Koi.
Yo apoyo a Koi.
Yo al Papa de Europa, a G2.
A fin de cuentas han perdido 2 finales y van a perder la tercera, o sea, no pasa nada.
Bueno, cuando tenga ahí más LEC que nosotros, ya hablamos.
We're winning world, so we don't care if we win or not tomorrow, but we are going to win tomorrow.
Apoyamos a Koi a muerte.
3-0 for G2. Obviously yes.
Vamos un poco apoyando a G2, así que a esperar el domingo, un poco con calma. Bueno, él va con...
Yo voy con Koi, no tiene ni idea, es lo único que puedo decir.
Yo lo que quiero es que haya mucha guerra, muchas peleas, para un lado, para el otro, y que esté entretenido.
Amazing, so much fun. Oh, rip that boyfriend though.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
That's a heartbreaking.
That's
yeah.
a Joya. It's a Joya.
It's the
Oh
captain.
my God, what the hell? Anyway, you guys also went to the Expo, I think. Was it a W?
It was a W. I mean, we got beat up in 2XQ by some fans.
You did?
They were really good.
Yeah. What else did you do?
I mean, we did that. I mean, we were by the Riftbound as well. You can get some custom cards made for you. Really fun to play that card game as well. So we had a great time at the Expo.
It looks really fun. I'm sad I couldn't make it, but there's something that is always very, very cool at these League of Legends events, and it's our wonderful cosplay community. So let's take a look at what they showed us at the Expo.
Hola Madrid! Hello everyone! It's a pleasure for me to introduce you to the Cosplay Grand Tour Grand Final. Allinelli with her cosplay of Morgana. Her name is Chili Bunny and her cosplay is Yunara. A big applause for Arceda with his cosplay of Yasuo. Today, Kumiko Kaisa is wearing... She's wearing Ase! Next cosplayer on stage is Dobby. Master G! Lena is bringing to life his cosplay of Yone. Michele that is bringing Shen. The next cosplayer, the name is Jeremy Evelyn Hainon. Please welcome Soler with her cosplay of Ari. Jun Tsukino and it wears Leona.
So it was extremely hard because there was a huge amount of work in each of these amazing cosplays. The winner is Jun Tsukino with Leona Hainun.
Thank you for my friends, because without them, this would not be here today. Thank you for choosing my costume.
Thank you, Madrid. Have a nice day.
Absolutely amazing, beautiful. I think people underestimate how much work and craft and dedication goes into cosplay. It's really, really insane. They're artists, right? They're such perfectionists, and you can see it.
And that Leona was art. I mean, when I saw the umbrella, oh my God, that is just so cool.
I mean, I just love the passion everyone has for this game, the passion everyone brings to these conventions to put so much work in, as you say, Shox. I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful indeed, and they are all winners in our hearts for sure. But let's use that as a kickoff point to talk maybe a little bit about how much fun we've had in this arena. And I think yesterday we started off the pre-show. It was already a little bit later. Now we have an hour to go. It was close to the game time, and you saw everybody coming in with the drums and with the trumpets, and just it immediately lit up. And when I was watching some of the games, I feel like this has been the loudest I heard anyone be in a very long time.
I mean, you feel it. The trumpets, the drums, as you say, all the instruments. You feel how loud people get for the fans for the teams when they play well. Like everyone is just so invested into the game, and you see them. I love the minions.
They're my favorite. And I feel like it has reinforced my belief in home field advantage as well. I already felt it when we went to Madrid earlier, when you and I went to France as well, Finn. But you'd really just feel like the passion that the national fans have for their teams when they rock up to these events. It is absolutely unmatched, and it does a lot for the atmosphere, but it also does something for the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like when I look across the whole year, the part that we have had the honor of doing the road trips with the teams themselves and seeing those communities and have it all culminate here in such a beautiful arena, which I think the Spanish scene is so instrumental to our League of Legends scene in terms of cosplay, in terms of production, in terms of players, in terms of the ecosystem. So it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm not going to get emotional yet. We have a whole show to get through. And so, speaking about some of the amazing people we've seen here, Laura has a very special guest.
Absolutely shocked. Thank you so much. There is not a single league event without him. You might know him as Mukau Alistar, but his name is
Abraham Kindo.
Well, Abraham Kindo, thank you so much for joining me. I've met you in 2018 at MSI in France. Thank you so much, guys. And and I saw you at every esports event ever since. Where does the idea come from? Why the costume?
C'est un casteur, Noah, qui m'a proposé l'idée.
Look, it was a French caster, his name is Noah, and he suggested the idea. He said that it would be cool to have this kind of cosplay at events, and that's why he did it. Now, you've been across the world, you've been in most of European countries. What is so special about Spanish crowds?
So, c'est vraiment spécial à Madrid, juste comme ça. Oh! Trop d'énergie.
The energy is absolutely amazing. The atmosphere is so special, and the Spanish fans are so invested and so connected with the League of Legends, and that's what is so special with all this. Now, final question for you. Do you have a prediction for today?
So, I think is 3-2 G2.
Not the right crowd to say this here, but I respect the audacity and I respect the prediction here. I'm not going to translate this one, though. Do you have any final thoughts? Do you have any final words for the crowd and ahead of today?
So, Madrid! 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 Madrid!
Thank you so much. It was amazing to finally talk to you. Thank you, Madrid. Thank you, the crowd. That's all for us here for now. And now let's send it over to Fernando.
Thank you, Lord. I'm here with Jaime Mellado, one of the members of the Movistar co-stream and one of the most passionate guys here in the Spanish community. Jaime, un placer tenerte por aquí. ¿Cómo estás y sobre todo, cómo has visto a los chavales después de ganar ayer?
A ver, pues yo la verdad es que muy bien. Creo que hoy va a ser un sueño hecho realidad. Ganar sobre todo en nuestra casa aquí en Madrid yo creo que es algo que no nos esperábamos. Y es cierto que ha sido un año con muchas evoluciones, ganando sobre todo en el split de primavera, que yo creo que era algo que quizá mucha gente no se esperaba. Y aquí en verano pues ha sido algo histórico. Ganar el día de ayer, hoy a ver qué ocurre. Y los chavales pues bastante motivados, la verdad. O sea, creo que se nota que el bufo de presencial de Madrid, bueno, ya lo hice en las estadísticas, es un 100% de victorias. Y esto es gracias al fin y al cabo al público que está aquí, que sin ellos no sería posible.
I asked him about how's he feeling and also how the team is feeling. They are very, very motivated because of these guys in the background, Las Carpas, the whole venue buff, because playing here in Madrid is amazing for them and they didn't expect to have the chance to win the title over here, Jaime. ¿Qué significaría eso para vosotros conseguir además el doblete, representar a Europa además como el primer seeding, sabiendo además lo fan que eres tú de la región?
Yo creo que no solo para todos los fans de Movistar COI, sino diría para todo cualquier aficionado a League of Legends España. O sea, que 4 jugadores españoles con coaching staff español consigan ser Seed 1 representando al fin y al cabo, como tú dices, ¿no?, a Europa en los mundiales, creo que es algo que igual no vemos nunca en la vida. Igual el año que viene no es este roster, igual el que viene no es este coaching staff. Ojalá se mantenga todos. Sabemos que hay muchos rumores, pero sinceramente hacerlo aquí en Madrid, en nuestra casa, creo que es algo que no voy a olvidar y yo creo que toda la gente no va a olvidar nunca.
I asked him what will it mean to win back-to-back here in Madrid and represent Europe's the first seed, considering he's a hooligan of Europe. And of course, he said it's very, very special because having 4 Spaniards with also Spanish coaching staff is something that we may not see in the future. So it's something unbelievable. Para terminar, Mellado, una predicción rápida. ¿Cómo crees que va a terminar esta final?
No nos pega a ganar fácil. Así que va a ser quinto mapa, pero va a ganar Movistar COI 3-2.
And just to wrap it up, a quick prediction. He said it can be easy, so it's going to be a 3-2 for Movistar Koi, and that's all from us. So back to you at the desk. So with all these guys doing noise.
Thank you so much, Fernando Mellado. Of course, he did an amazing job when we were in Madrid for the road trip, and the whole crew there as the co-streamers, but also shout out to the LVP crew who's been doing just an amazing job. Now, we're going to get into the serious stuff soon, but first there's a bet to settle, because yesterday, Jack and Finn had a bet, right, Finn? What was the bet?
I mean, me and Jack had a little bet, a little minor disagreement on who would win the series. I, of course, put MKOI to win 3-1, and he, for some reason, thought that Fnatic would be victorious yesterday. And I think we found a rightful punishment for that false prediction, and we're gonna see where he's at right now.
Yeah, I think the loser had to dance the Macarena on stage, and I don't see Jack, so I hope he's on stage. Let me show us production. Oh, he is!
There we go!
Hey, Jack Spectra!
He's still going.
He's a natural.
He's been rehearsing this. Oh,
Jack Spectra!
He's in that. Oh
So
my God.
okay, nice. It's okay. By the way, if you're wondering why, we cannot actually play the song because of copyright, so I know this was also very close, so hopefully we don't get struck.
feel for Jack Spectra as well, as a person who has lost bets to Finn many times. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Take
Finn,
a toll
why do
eventually
you-
when you're constantly wrong, just like Jack Spectra has been. Poor guy. But he seems to be really enjoying himself losing these bets. He seems to be a natural dancing the Macarena, and I'm really proud of him for doing
But
this.
Finn, why do you always win the bets? What's going on? Do you know something we don't?
I mean, I just have believed in Koi last spring, now in winter. I mean, in summer, what am I saying? And I think I've just been lucky, I guess.
You believe in them still?
I do definitely believe in them still.
Amazing. So we're going to get into the meat and the potatoes of this matchup and every single lane when we come back. So we're taking a quick break, and don't go anywhere.
You walk along the edge of danger, and it will change you. Why would you let this voice set in your head? It is meant to destroy you. You summon storms, you play with nature. Now watch it hurt you. Why would you want to shape the world in your head? You will never make it through.
me that Las Carpas with the drums and the trumpets and I don't know what, they all arrived as our players also arrived, of course, earlier. Here we see G2, who honestly probably have a lot of stress on their shoulders. And we have an icon of a former G2 with us, Jankos. Hello.
Hello there.
So, what do you think about G2's mental, knowing that, yeah, they're up against it?
Well, to be honest, I do think it's quite stressful to play the finals itself, especially that MKOI had that home ground advantage, right? They have played in Madrid before. The stage is definitely going to be with them. So will the crowd. On top of that, they have played yesterday. That being said, will this be enough to beat G2 players? So I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll get to that. But GB, what is, tell me about the year they've had and why we're finding ourselves in a situation where we're doubting them, which we usually don't do.
I was going to say, I respect you for still believing, but if we're having a look at their track record, right? And I think that's what we're looking at. G2 in winter, they're coming in through an upper bracket. They beat KC. They're the favorites going into that finals. What happens in that finals? They still lose. I think for G2, this has been a year where every single time they've come into a finals, they've been a favorite. And it's kind of something that's happened again and again and again. Because this was just a winter. But if you take a look at spring, it's the same sort of pattern that you're seeing. It's G2 who will come in from the upper bracket. They'll beat MKOI 3-1. And then MKOI will have to come through the lower bracket. What happens with G2? They lose the finals. And once again, the scriptwriters have been lazy, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's G2 who's coming in through an upper bracket. They're the favorites on paper in the final, but MKOI is meeting them once again in the lower bracket. And I think this tendency is the reason why there's doubt surrounding G2.
Yeah, Finn, what's your read on it? What's happened this year with G2, who, of course, they had a winning lineup, right? They won everything, and they decided to make the change, put Lebrov and Skewmont in for Yike and for Mickey. And as far as it goes, it has not paid off.
I mean, they've had disappointment at Worlds with that roster, and they were like, okay, we need to make changes because we're not reaching what we want to. And they brought in Skewmont, they brought in Labrov, but they've really been like the Greek myth of Sisyphus, pushing the boulder up the mountain over and over again, just to fall down and having it start all over again. And
But
I feel like this summer, we're seeing the same thing, and I wonder, can they actually do it this time?
Yeah, that's the thing. I am curious, Jankos, where do you find your faith? What is it that this time around, despite the past this year, that makes this roster feel like they can still do it, but everything's stacked against it?
I don't think it's fate itself. I think it's just me watching the games, right? When I'm seeing Skewmont grow so much as a player from January to now, when I see that bro being way more solid than he was when he came in G2 esports roster, I feel like this is the time. If not now, then when? Will the roster stay the same for next year? We don't know that. Are they going to be successful enough? How they are going to deal with the World's pressure? How they're going to perform at Worlds? So I feel like they have to establish, again, their dominance over the region. They need to win these finals to go with good mindset into Worlds and to actually be back on the throne.
I love it. We cannot kind of overestimate how important it is to get a good end to your season when you head into World. If you grab that first seed, we saw a look there at G2's consistency over the years. And the thing is, GB, for any other team, they would say, I'll take that. This is fine, this is perfect. But no, we hold G2 to a different standard because they are just better, or they're supposed to be better.
Yeah, I mean, when you have been the most consistent team in Europe and you win everything, and the expectation is that you win everything, suddenly second is no longer good enough. And as you said, that might have been fine for any other team, but when it's G2, anything but a win is a disappointment.
And Jankos, can you give us a little insight into the psyche of kind of a pro player, right? If you are Lebrov or you are Skewmont, you are the players that were changed, and now they're not winning. Does that get in your head?
I think maybe a little bit. I'm sure that G2 has staff that is talking to these players, that is making sure that these players are comfortable. I think what's most important is that Skewmont and Labrov will feel comfortable on stage. They have never played in such a big audience. Yes, G2 was present in the KC arena. They were present in the MKOI arena before, earlier in the year. They were there at MSI. They were there at, I believe, no, not first time, but MSI. Still, though, is it going to be enough? Will the Spanish crowd make them afraid? Possibly.
Who knows? We'll see all of our predictions later, but let's talk about Movistar KOI as well. Jack, we had the pleasure of being in Madrid and kind of seeing how everything kicked off, because I will be honest in saying that in winter, I didn't see it. I didn't believe in them. And I also didn't believe in them when they played this spring finals. But the mountain they climbed is just phenomenal.
I have doubted them time and time again, yet they keep disproving me. And I think especially in Madrid, in front of the Spanish fans, they just seem to be unleashed. They're on their peak level, and you saw it yesterday. Will we see it again today?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, that winter was just such a disappointment. It felt like it was going to be a better roster with Jojo coming in, but he wasn't hitting the form in the beginning. And even when you went into the first weeks of spring, their first week was a 0-2. It was a lot of games where nothing really felt like it was clicking for them until they hit the stage in Madrid for their own roadshow. They 2-0'd there. They became the Kings of Madrid, and they rode that momentum all the way to the spring finals, where they also became the champions.
And I feel like the story of this year has been that despite we have Fnatic, we have G2, but to me, MKOI is our most clutch team we have right now in the league. I feel like whenever the pressure is the highest, they have been the team to step up. Maybe it's because we're in Madrid. Maybe it's because these players just have that charisma, that confidence to go on stage and play even better than they do in practice.
Yeah, because I mean, they have a whole country behind them, and we've also seen that they love to be showmen as well. Mirwin throwing the shirt, Elyoya with the Razork picture yesterday. What do you think of them as competitors and how they approach everything?
No, I mean, absolutely. I've had the pleasure to talk to them a little bit as well before even the final weekend started, and they seem very comfortable. They are very happy to be here. They're very happy to present themselves in sort of the Spanish crowd and also get these wins. I think yesterday, Mirwin, we even saw his 1v2, and then he straight up jumped from the chair. He starts pointing at his opponent, making the low emote. So absolutely, I love it, and I think that maybe just because they are so comfortable on stage, they can put such a great performance.
Okay, we'll let you go in a second. Can you talk to us a little bit, though, about what you think about the jungle matchup? You already sang Scumon's praises and how he has evolved, but Elyoya on stage is a different beast, Marcin.
Absolutely, and I think that Elyoya is a guy who is quite planned. I feel like he always goes in the game knowing what he must do in the early game to get MKOI ahead. Scumon, on the other hand, I feel like he was a little bit more shaky and kind of... Some people were flaming him, saying that he's AFK farming in the early games. I feel like that he shifted away from it in the summer split. I think he's more proactive on the map. I also believe that he's becoming maybe that inspired, maybe not quite the level inspired yet, but also is trying to be that very, very efficient jungler with solid game plans that lead his team to, well, equal mid games and then wins. I feel like if I have to choose one jungler that I really want to see in this matchup, I mean, I think Yoya still takes the edge.
Okay, I love it. I love that you brought up that inspired comparison, something we'll be seeing at Worlds as well. We'll let you go. Thank you so much, Jankos. And
Thank you.
We are going to take a look at an interview from Elyoya yesterday because he had some choice words for G2.
You still haven't experienced yet. Last time you played in Madrid didn't go too well. Tomorrow is going to be much more intense. I know the people are going to make this crowd our crowd. And you will see what playing into Movistar KOI in his home it is.
Yeah, the crowd's definitely for them. So what do we think? Elyoya, I mean, in you, we showed the accolades yesterday. He is so insane, right? Can you kind of tell me the story of what he offers in many aspects? Because we can't forget he's also the captain.
Do you want me to break it down to you?
Yes,
I'll break it down
break
to
it down.
you. Because I
Oh,
have a little
breakdown.
presentation plan here for you guys of Elyoya's games yesterday. And I just want to highlight what Janko said. Elyoya seems so planned. Look, in this game, we see that Fnatic is drafted quite a low damage team comp. It kind of all relies on the Kai'Sa having a good game of upset. So what does Elyoya do? He makes an elaborate plan to shut down the Kai'Sa of upset. As we zoom in on the minimap here, we're gonna see that Vi is topside and she can't really be here to cover this gank, and they tracked the ward here already. They knew where this ward was, and Elyoya very cleverly looped all the way around to that bot lane gank and really found that. So what does it do? Does it just base? Does he go back to full clearing? No, he makes another great elaborate plan as Razork thinks about invading, but decides not to. So Elyoya's like, thank you, I will take my camps, and I'm gonna now strut right back again to the bot lane. Your Kai'Sa has no flash, they're pushed up, and we're just gonna collect our free kill, and we're gonna shut down your only damage threat in this team comp. Without the Kai'Sa to follow up on these engagements from Fnatic, Fnatic had nothing this game. It was a complete blowout from MKOI.
Elyoya, he reads the game plan, and he definitely read Fnatic yesterday, and I feel like I have a lot of faith in MKOI to be able to change the game plan depending on what the priorities are in the series. Is that correct?
I mean, I think Elyoya to me is just really well-rounded. He seems to be able to play the facilitating play style. He played in the Neferi yesterday, looked great on it. I think he just has so many weapons up his arsenal, and they can pick and choose depending on what fits for the game.
I mean, Elioya is great, don't get me wrong, but you have to feel that after a game like that, he got away with some illegal things, right? He got to gank pretty much every single lane, and yes, they spotted the ward, but you have to feel, in bot lane, you have 2 wards, so you could really shut that playstyle down, and I want to show a different replay of Skumon instead, highlighting how you can play jungle and give no counterplay to the enemy team. So here, if we can roll the clip, Skumon is playing Syra jungle, one of his best picks, and he's so good at utilizing these really fast junglers to get pressure. You see here, he forces Elioya out, he takes the blue buff, and now, if we could pause it, beautiful, you see that Elioya only has bad options. It's pretty much checkmate. If we look into the minimap, thank you, Finn, you can see Elioya could choose to try to stay around bot lane, but what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? He can't do anything. If he crosses back into Syra, he's gonna get demolished. So he has to go for the top crab, which then means that his bot lane now are under pressure, and Skumon plays it perfectly. He walks around them, puts down the ward to make sure that Elioya could never be here, and then they dive Supa, effectively winning both jungle and bot lane in one fell swoop, and even if you ward, you can't do anything against that.
What I'm seeing is they both like to go bot?
Bot is OP roll, yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it from Lady Gary.
For sure. Yeah, we'll see where the junglers go. I think they have a lot of options on both sides, not in the least in the top lane, because what a matchup it is. Mirwin versus Broken Blade. And let's just talk about Mirwin a little bit, because this guy, I love him, man. The way he approaches the games, the way he approaches the flair and the bravado around the game, it's just so fun to watch.
I mean, all of us love Mirwin here at the desk, and I think, honestly, for me, Mirwin should be such an inspiration to so many of our competitors as well, because not only has he displayed versatility as a player, he's also super stable on the meta picks. You can easily rely on him in situations like this yesterday, but most importantly, and why I do love him, it's the fact that he's willing to pull off plays like this in a 1 versus 2, and then afterwards get up on this stage, directly yell at his competitors, and just let them know that they just got clowned on. And this is what I want to see more of.
Look at Ursa.
Oh, and Razok sees it. There it is. Smiles a bit.
Oh my god. Here.
Oh my god, he's bothering them.
Yeah, that's what Mirwin says about everybody, right, Jack Spectre? I'm their father. It doesn't matter.
I mean, Mirwin is just so incredibly clutch. I remember I played with him in 2023 Iberian Finals. We were losing the game. He tells us all, guys, stop choking. We need to play the game. And he called for us to do a crazy split push backdoor, which eventually led us to win that game down 10k gold. And that's the type of energy vibe he brings to a team, that he will find that creative solution, he will bring that impact and that clutch factor.
I just think it's so inspirational. He came in and people are like, yeah, it's Mirwin, he has crazy champions, he does all that. But now, to me, he has developed into such a complete top laner. He's plays the Cassandra and the Orns and the tanks, but also still has that little individual flair. And to me, that is the perfect top laner. Someone that can play all the roles to perfection, but still has that unique pocket picks.
Super well-rounded, and of course, mentally has a little bit of the edge over Broken Blade, because he did win that final just in spring. Let's talk about Broken Blade a little bit, because there were times not so long ago, GB, that I thought he was the best performing member of G2, even at internationals. What happened?
And it's like he lost a little bit of this flair. He used to have these crazy counter picks where he would do really into people that didn't really know the matchup. But now even on some of the staples, I've been a bit disappointed. He had a really slow Renekton matchup into the Yorick when he was playing against Mirwin. He got solo killed. I also think the Jax into Gwen, he wasn't taking as much control in that matchup as he usually should have done on a pick that usually is stable for Broken Blade. So the reason why I'm disappointed in BB is because I hold him to such high regards, but right now he feels like a weaker link of the G2 roster.
Is this, we talk so much about Lebrov and Skew and how much pressure they are feeling, but of course it also has an influence on every other member of the team. Is this maybe to explain why it hasn't been that good of Broken Blade this year?
I disagree. I don't think, when I think about Broken Blade at his peak, I think about a Broken Blade that has strong blind picks and also elaborate counter picks with the meta threats. We have seen the Kled, we have seen the Rek'Sai, and I think he's had great success on those champions throughout the summer, and he still plays the Jax and Example to great effect. And I think this is still the best version of Broken Blade that I can expect. Coming into today, I hold him in high regards, because I think he's still individually, mechanically, and team-wide is one of the best top laners Europe has ever seen.
I really agree with you, Finn. I would love to see that he has some of those pocket picks up available, because I think Broken Blade at his best is when he's defining the meta, he's bringing out surprises, and who better to do that against than Mirwin?
And what a better day to do it than today in the grand finals of the summer. And of course, we want to hear from Broken Blade. He's standing by with Lore in our Marriott Bonvoy pregame check-in.
Thank you so much, Shugs and Bibi. Here we meet again before A finals. We haven't seen you guys play in ages, so talk me through what has been going on for the past weeks. How have you been getting ready ahead of today?
I mean, it's been very nice. We always say we are playing against ghosts, you know, because we didn't know who our opponent is. Now we know it's Koi. Very well prepared against Koi. Very excited to play against them, especially against the Spanish crowd. It's going to be very insane. I would like to, if we are against the crowd, I would like to conquer the crowd, you know, make it ours. That's my goal for today, and I will do that by winning, of course.
Of course. Is that something that fuels you, actually, that gives you extra motivation, knowing that maybe the crowd is not going to be cheering for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But to be honest, I've experienced this before. I've been in international stages before where it's very one-sided, but it hasn't stopped me. So I want to be very strong today, deliver a very nice performance, you know, so very excited.
And I remember in France you were playing with the crowd booing you, so I expect a bit of this today. And something that we've been saying is that it's kind of hard just showing up on the day when you don't have that stage experience that maybe MKOI has from yesterday. And that's something you experienced in Malmö also, for instance. How are you going to make sure that it doesn't change anything for you, the fact that they played one more game in front of their crowd in the audience?
I mean, it is true, but this iteration of G2 has never went through the lower bracket, so we actually have a lot of practice now going through the upper bracket. So internally we had a lot to discuss and how we, you know, prepare for today. So I'm very excited to showcase that today. Yeah. Just very excited to play some good League of Legends.
Now this iteration of G2 makes finals. Doesn't win finals yet, but we're hoping that you guys can change that today for yourself, of course. What can you tell me have been the improvements from G2 from winter, spring, and now in summer to make sure that you're going to peak today and that is going to be different for the team?
To be honest, I think it's our resilience, you know. I think these losses that we had to face, experience, it made us a lot stronger human beings, and I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else but these guys today, and very, very excited.
All right. Now, closing thoughts. You're the top father. But Mirvin, on the other side, has been giving a lot of paternity tests lately, calling himself daddy. Is there anything you want to tell him?
I mean, obviously, there's always people looking up at each other, trying to copy each other, you know, but you can't copy greatness.
All right. We'll leave on that thought. Bibi, thank you so much. Wishing you the best of luck today, of course, and Shugs, over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. A little bit of spice there. Broken Blade does give more spice the more he wins, so he's still a little bit reserved. Maybe if they do win, we'll see it. So as we see Las Carpas, they're making the whole tour of the arena. Let's translate it into something that may be a strong point for G2, because I feel like we're a little bit down on them. But is there one player who has impressed you that you think is perhaps the most consistent part of G2 right now?
For sure, for me, it's got to be Hansama.
Okay.
I just love how every single game, it feels like he's a factor for G2. And I think Supa, while he has incredible highs, he has had some more off performances than Hansama's had. And even when Labrov has struggled, I feel like Hansama is always so great in the game. And we saw it in G2 versus MKOI. It just feels like he's a player you can never count out.
Yeah, we just saw the matchup, right? And we went into that expecting that Supa and Alvaro would maybe put on a masterclass again, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, and it felt like, actually last time they played, both Hansama and Labrov were just in such good control of the laning matchup. They felt like they were always pushing their lead in just the right amount, never giving openings for MKOI to attack them, and I wonder, are we going to see the same thing today?
I mean, you guys are talking about players at their best form. I'd like to present that I think Hansama is the best form right now. In terms of the champions he's playing, in terms of the confidence he's regained, I would say Hans has usually been one of the best stable AD carries we've had in the league, but I'm seeing a guy now who's willing to just solo, walk up an enemy AD carry, try and go for the outplay. He's playing with a confidence that I haven't seen in a very long time, and that makes me super excited to see what he's going to do today when there's so much at stake.
I mean, I'm all aboard the Hansama hype train, but at the same time, I remember Hansama Kalista Draven every single game. Everybody had to ban it and was unplayable against him. I don't think that meta is perfect for him right now, but the way he can always adapt around it, and he has these core carry picks that he can always pivot to, I mean, he's a pleasure to watch.
I just love the word that BB used in the interview before, resilience. I think for me, that is what defines this G2 roster today. I think Hansama's resilience to keep staying at the top, keep playing to this level, and keep proving people wrong that he is still, because he's been counted out a few times.
Yeah.
People have been a bit low on Hansama, and I think right now he's really showing his best form.
And I would also maybe argue, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but for Hansama, I know what I'm gonna get. But for Supa, when I think of his highest highs, he's running the games, right? He's completely taking over from the laning phase to every skirmish, to every fight, remembering the matches that he had versus KC, of course, this year as well. And I think when we look at the journey of this guy, we thought he was cocky. We thought he wasn't going to do everything that he promised us, but he did, and more. And that is so inspirational, Jack.
I mean, he might just be better than Deft at this rate with how he's playing, and I love to see that confidence coming in.
That's hilarious.
And it's just beautiful to see that a player kind of grows into the confidence that they already had, so that it's no longer arrogance. It's just energy, it's just vibes, it's just aura.
Yeah, and I think he's just one of the most improved players on MKOI that's gone on. Like, we saw Winter, barely didn't see anything from Super. Then something just clicked in spring playoffs where he became a demon. Like, he was so good, even without any resources from his team. Out of nowhere, he would come into the mid to late game and he'd have the most insane team fights you'd ever seen. And I think he's kind of just continued with that style, even leading into this summer. I think Super and Hansama, the 80 carries to watch today, is going to be incredible.
Manifesting works. We should all do it. Yeah. But let's see how their partners in crime are doing as well. Of course, you can't be an ADC without a support. And I think for me, this is also where a lot of the keywords that I'm looking at for both these lineups converge. Because for Lebrov, we are looking at redemption. I think he was scapegoated, maybe correctly so, for those finals that happened, because he wasn't the Lebrov we know. He wasn't the Lebrov that was promised. And I can only imagine, Finn, the immense pressure on his particular shoulders today.
Yeah, and we have seen the same story. He looked good, like getting better and better throughout playoffs, and then he went to finals and people were really high on him, and then he kind of didn't approve, like he didn't really show that performance we expected. And then when I look at Alvaro instead, I feel like yesterday we said Mickey and Alvaro are probably the best two supports in our league, and Alvaro I think proved that he deserves that title. So today, Labrov, if you want to shut the haters up, if you want to prove that you belong in this conversation, today there's no better stage to do it.
But he was by far the better support when they were playing in the upper bracket. I mean, he was on fire. There's a reason why people are so hype on Labrov again, and it's because he's been playing better than he ever has. But the question mark still remains. I'm looking at that game one, and I'm thinking this game one is going to be everything from Labrov, because you cannot just lose that confidence and go back to the same trap you felt in winter and in spring.
Yeah, I think this is a great test for G2's coaching staff and their support staff.
Yeah.
Will they be able to fix the problems that Lebrov went through then? Because he is a great player. He's been a great player for so many years, but he's never shown up in the important moments. And that's when the structure really counts.
Yeah, the Spanish community has some super harsh memes about Lebrov. I'm not going to say them here. You can look them up, but that's harsh, right, as a pro player. You're working with all that as well. Someone who's gotten the brunt of the compliments, though, is Alvaro. What a player.
Yeah. I mean, Alvaro, like the person you have become in this league, your engaged champions, your leadership in game, and the angles you find, I cannot see anyone else finding those angles. Maybe Mickey at sometimes, but you know, Alvaro right now is in a category of his own. His Rakan, his Nico, his Rel, his Nautilus. I just think in tandem with Elyoya, this is some of the most exciting times to be an EU fan, because it was a long time ago since we've had so many exciting rookies, and right now I think it's the time.
Is it the case, maybe, that I feel like everybody else has risen to Alvaro's level? Because I'm thinking back to even Worlds, right, to some of these international games where he was the light point for them. It might very well be that the rest had to step up to match.
Yeah, I think for sure, and I gotta be honest, when I first played against Alvaro in the Spanish league, I was kind of jealous of Supa, who got to play with such a player. I could already tell that he was destined for greatness, just how fast he's continued to improve and how clutch he is. It's incredible.
And that's what defines it. It's the clutch factor. I think that's what you're lacking from Lebrov, but that Alvaro has proved to so many times again and again in the league and the worlds that you're mentioning, and he's doing it on so many different kinds of supports. He's amazing on the engages, but he also's got that Bard in the back, and I think that's really just makes him such a well-rounded player.
It does for him. It's quite interesting because Alvaro has been absolutely tremendous, and they often laugh at us, the Spanish fans, when we say only like, oh, Movistar KOI, they have the clutch factor, they have the instinct, because they think that we're not talking about everything else. I will say very clearly, we do talk about everything else and we appreciate everything else. It's just that some teams have everything else, but they don't have the clutch and they don't have the instinct.
And that's been G2.
Yeah, exactly. So this is why it's so important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to talk a little bit more about instinct, but no harm done, because we have an interview. Laura's standing by with the man himself, Alvaro, in our Marriott Bonvoy pre-game check-in. My bad.
Thank you so much, Sharks and Alvaro.
Hoy es el día grande. I'm so happy for you. You guys made it to finals. So after yesterday, especially because your family was here, we've been talking about the vibes and how much it's been carrying you guys more than usual to perform so good. How did you feel it, actually, the support from the crowd?
I mean, I think for sure it's a big impact. Like having everyone cheering for us here in Madrid, it's kind of a dream. And also having my family as support. I have seen them today in the morning, so I'm even more motivated today as well to show up. And they were helping me with the luggage because I have a lot of things. So yeah, right now I am really proud of everyone that they are supporting, and I want to make them even more proud winning today.
What is it about for you today?
I mean, I think there is a lot of emotions. Of course, right now I think I'm really calm. I think I have seen already how we're going to enter on the stage and everything, so people will really enjoy it, and they will actually be surprised. And I think the emotions will come when I'm on the game. There is going to be a lot of pressure, I think, from both sides, but whoever is able to be the one that the less nervous, and I think we have the big advantage on us.
I'm excited about the introductions now. Later, a bit of a teaser for the intro. Now, we know that when it comes to the end of the season, players are tired, teams are tired, but it's also the moment you guys have to peak and have to be the best, especially with Worlds in a couple weeks from now. How did you make sure, and how can you tell me that today is going to be great, today is going to go well, and it's actually going to be your peak form?
I think it's something that we have been focusing during the year. The most important is peaking on playoffs, because regular season is important, but in the end, you need to qualify to playoffs, and you need to be able to perform the best when the moment is the important one. And I think it's something that we have been training already since practice, putting more effort, both in the routine, in the gym, in the day-by-day, in what we do. And for example, now doing the ramp down a bit, so we are more chill, more relaxed. We go to the States and we already feel like home. So I think the biggest difference between G2 and us right now is whoever is going to be the most calm in the States. And in that sense, we also have one more day practice here, so we can make the States our home. And I think that will make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You have the upper hand, you have the crowd behind you. What about G2? Because we haven't seen them in ages. What is your expectation from them today?
No, I think they are a strong team. I think they have improved a lot during the year. I think it's kind of like us. We have been ramping up since winter. I can see that both teams have developed like way better fundamentals about the game and individually. And I mean, of course, they have been on the 2 finals already. This is the 3rd finals that they are going to play. They are going to be really hungry, and we really need to want it more than them, because they are going to become hungry. Like, they are going to come hungry.
Of course.
So we need to be even more hungry, you know, to win it.
Any closing thoughts that you want to tell your fans and the crowd ahead of today, Alvaro?
Pues nada, muchísimas gracias a todos que habéis venido a apoyar, toda la gente que está aquí ahora apoyando. Y nada, que cuando estéis lleno vamos a sufrir todos y vamos a disfrutar todos juntos, y espero que sea una final que podamos recordar para siempre. Un saludo.
Gracias por la entrevista. Thank you so much.
Merci.
Best of luck for today.
Ah, sweet. We're so multilingual. Alvaro just saying thank you for all the support for everyone here. Also promising us that it will be a memory we will never forget in terms of the series. Wow. I'm even more excited now if he's saying it. We talked about a lot of the lanes already, and maybe we kept the best for last, some could say. Let's talk about Jojo Pyun versus Caps. First off, it is so interesting to me that we have an NA import, right, that came into our league that was actually vilified a little bit. Like, why would you get Jojo Pyun, right? EU mids this, EU mids that. But he has had such a great trajectory in my eyes, Goldberg, in terms of how he has improved despite the odds.
No, absolutely. And to me right now, I'm seeing him as the only mid laner in Europe that can currently actually contain Caps. And you're going to need to do that today. I think we've seen a Jojo that's improved to the fact where he's so good in the facilitating picks. He already had the 3 with a Yone Talia Sia, but he's evolved that champion pool so much more now to fit the style of MKOI, which makes them such a threat.
I mean, look, I wasn't completely sold on Jojo Pyun from NA, but Jose Pyun from Spain, he's going to contain Caps all right.
I love it. He's got a new name and everything. But Finn, yeah, also being in a different language environment, right? There's a lot to adapt to for Jojo, but I feel like we saw like the symbiosis of the team really helping him to fit into the team.
I mean, I love how he adapted to the Spanish culture, the Spanish memes, Jose Pyun. I even made a little checklist, because yesterday when I was watching their games, I was like, wow, this man is so crucial for MKOI. And I want to bring this up because what I think he does so well is that when he's playing champions that extend the playmaking of Elyoya and Alvaro, such as Italia, Six, and Galio, if you're playing Jarvan and Rel, and you know you have those backing you up, the angles just open up way wider, and you have so many more options in game. And same, like, his laning phase is just so immaculate. Like, I would love to see him on stuff like that, or the Aurora Rise that can just dominate the lane. And as long as he's mindful of the opponent's silent plays, I think it's going to be a good dance. Now,
Maybe he's watching that.
maybe he's watching that. We would hope so. But please, please, please don't go back to NA. I really like having you here, Jojo. I'm a huge fan. Please don't go back to NA. We love you
never
here.
thought we'd say this. I never thought we'd say this, but we get Jojo. We lost Inspired, but at least we got Jojo back, right? Not back. We got Jojo. What am I saying?
They didn't know what they had. We appreciated him for what he is, and we're going to keep him for now.
Exactly. And who we also appreciate is Caps. I mean, he's absolutely amazing. And if you don't exactly remember how amazing, maybe this will freshen up your memory.
Getting on to Alvaro. With the three-man knockup. Heroes entrance comes in. Another three-man Caps. Killed Hansama. Flashing back to the pit. All they do is make... Caps doing it. Knocked back. We've seen Caps do this before he flashes. Not quite enough damage, but one more. Oh no, it's enough.
Get to push out and get that Scatter the weak, gets the stun, Caps flashes forward, turns it onto Perks, first blood to Baby Faker, goes all the way to the steps of the fountain,
A lot of a playground to play around with. They find that first stun, they find some damage, but Ignite means he won't get the solo kill on the 1v2. And Caps tries it for Jensen, and he hears with the ammo. Oh my god! Oh, that is disgusting! Can't do it! Not enough! They've done it! They're gonna G2! This is it! The greatest team in the history of League of Legends, taken down by the greatest team Europe has ever produced!
He is unstoppable and he is still here. And people keep on saying, is Caps washed? Is it the last year of Caps? 10 years in, guys, unstoppable. He's a menace on mid
It's
lane.
giving Faker energy with just how much longevity he has. He's the best player in our region, and it's just an absolute pleasure to watch him play.
It's giving Faker.
It's giving
Faker.
I mean, gods don't die, gods live forever. I think the fact that Caps is still here on this stage, still performing so well, still having that extra clutch factor of him, I think it's unmatched in European history.
But that's the thing, it's not just about being good, it's not just about being consistent, it's about being consistently clutch. He's not good all year long, but he knows where to step up. Look at those accolades, like you cannot match this.
I mean, where do you even go from here? There is just too much info to take in, and that's just how good he is. But you take a look at that 2025, and that's the one where we're kind of questioning, can he get up there and finally get that title for himself? Runner-up, appearance, and LEC Summer, we still don't know where it's going to go. But it also just goes to show the expectations you have of Caps.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that we say when Caps is like not at his peak, it's just when he's not the best player in our league, really shows that we rate him up here constantly. Every other mid laner, if they're able to match Caps, that's us saying they're incredibly good. So the fact that he's been the benchmark of our mid lane talent for so long really shows the kind of GOAT he is.
And since the last time we were in Madrid, he won 10 titles. 10 titles. What has it been about when it comes to Caps? Do you guys feel like he reinvented himself, or he just stayed true to the style that we know?
I mean, to me, Caps just loves League of Legends.
Exactly.
To me, he lives, breathes, eats League of Legends every single day. It doesn't go a minute of his day where I don't think he thinks about League of Legends. And that's just what propels him forward so much.
It's his creative approach as well. I see it when I'm watching him play pro games. I see it when I'm making content with him. He just finds a way in his brain to rewire the creativity. How can I make the most out of this from a perspective no one has thought of? And I think that's what makes him so good continuously. It's the fact that he's always trying to come up, what is the best version of myself? And he's continuously pushing the boundaries.
And he has been on every stage. He has seen it all, but today he's coming back for a title. G2 hasn't touched a title the whole year. They're coming for that today and not in front of their crowd. So I want to know actually, what do we think? Who do we think is going to win today? What are the predictions?
Let's see the predictions. Okay, should I start?
All right.
I mean, I'm a Koi salesman. I think it's going to be a 3-0 for Koi. I think they come in all the extracurricular, the extraterrestrial, I don't know what to say, any like factors outside of human control go in their favor. The crowd, the stage, the narrative, everything to me culminates in an MKOI 3-0.
I've doubted MKOI one too many times. I can't do it again. They have shown me time and time again that when it matters most, they'll step up, especially with this crowd. It's MKOI 3-1.
And I'm in the opposite end of Jack Spectra. I've believed in this G2 iteration too many times now. I've been hurt. Every single final in winter, in spring, I've come in and I thought, yes, of course they're the favorite. They come in from the upper bracket. But in MKOI's arena, where They have everything stacked against them, from the crowd to the momentum MKOI is coming in with. I just don't trust it, but I do hope that they've had their learnings throughout all those losses to make this an incredibly close series.
What do you have here, Finn? What do
I
you
have a little wristband, and this is blue
okay,
for
let's take the
MKOI.
colors. Blue for MKOI?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go blue for MKOI. I don't know if it's blue side or red side, but let's say blue is the color of MKOI, so we're gonna go with that. I actually think that they have been riding this crowd energy. You see them right now. The arena is full, and it is riding this blue color for the team that they want to cheer for. We know the impact the crowd can have on a team. We know the impact that stage experience can have on a team. I'm betting on MKOI today. I'm betting on MKOI. They did it in spring. They're here to do it again in summer. Do you guys believe that they can?
I mean, just seeing this crowd, it's just so beautiful. I also believe in it. It just fills me with gratitude for where we are right now. This crowd, this energy, this passion that we all share towards this game, and the fact that we're blessed with such an exciting finals matchup, I think you couldn't ask for more.
The blue wall never left. You can see the whole crowd. It's all blue, baby. I mean, I think with the sixth man, with the crowd, MKOI are just going to take it.
Absolutely. GB, final thoughts on G2. You were saying they've been chasing this. They've been chasing to make those bets work. Do we feel like they have what it takes, especially in front of the crowd today? Do we feel like the younger boys, the Skumon, the LeBron can finally show up and show what they're made of in this final?
I mean, I have obviously predicted against them, but I do want to hold on to the words that BB was saying in your interview. You know, they've never come through the lower bracket. They've lost every final. And of course, they're human. They take learnings from these things. This is your final test. This can rewrite every single loss you've had this entire year. Who cares about winter? Who cares about spring? If those losses prove to you that you can take it here in this stage with everyone against you, no one's going to care about the past.
Last week, MKOI came in and wrote one word on their whiteboard. It was patience.
They're called back.
And today, the word I have for G2 is just resilience. I think today will come down to patience versus resilience. This will be the deciding factor. Which team can hone in on these words the most?
Which team can ride this high that the crowd is giving us as well, guys. I don't know if you can hear them on stream, but they are ready. It is caliente here in Madrid for now. And I have to say, it is the very first time that I get to enjoy an event in Spain. I've always heard the Spanish crowd was great. I was always told that the French crowd is the best. I've been lied to, guys. I'm betting against my people now, but honestly, we don't have a minion wave roaming around the studio. The passion for esports, for all the teams that these guys have given for all the weekend is honestly unmatched. Thank you, Madrid.
I'm just so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be a part of this league. The fact that we have such a competitive top four every day in this arena has felt like nobody really knew what was going to happen. Even this final, you saw it in the mega predictions. A lot of people predicting G2 as well, even though the sixth man is with this MKOI roster. And it's just a great time to be an LEC fan.
No, absolutely. I'm grateful for all the prospects we've had to come into the league this as well. Even the prospects who's not here, from Vitality to Skumon on stage to the MKOI roster who is built around rookies. This is what Europe has been about. And we're living in a great time because we're finally having more of these people coming into our league with a top four, as you said yourself, Jack, that's so unpredictable, where it feels like there's finally a barrier that can be pushed through by other teams.
And we get to enjoy fandom even more through the road trips that we have, through this road show that we have here at the end of the year. I feel like we're entering a new era to enjoy League of Legends and to enjoy League of Legends shows.
Yeah, and it feels like despite us cheering for different teams, we come from different countries, the passion for League of Legends that we all share is something that binds us together. And I think this is what you see in this arena now. Now we're cheering for MKOI, but the fact that we're all here with these teams, I think it's just something beautiful.
And I mean, you said it, Finn. G2's word is resilience and it's patience for MKOI. I think LEC's word this year is passion. It's just passion all around. So many fans that just care so much about it.
He's such a poet, this guy. I knew it. He's such a poet.
What has been special about the Spanish crowd for you guys?
Just
what is going to be your highlights?
Energy for sure. I think passion's like these guys don't need patience. They need to let go of that, and they do that every single time. They're not afraid to come up and just have a great time with anyone. On the Rift, of course, they have a favorite, but they've been very welcoming, and I've been loving everything about it.
There's been a lot of ups and downs this year, but one thing is for sure. The passion these guys have given us, and they're about to deliver for this finals. You're not ready. No one is ready for this. It's gonna come down to this single day, to this single best of 5, to this season full of hard work, full of struggles, defying expectations, fighting to get the honor to be here today. One last best of 5 to prove it all. For G2, it's been a year of waiting for those bets to finally pay off and lift the trophy that they know so well. And for MKOI, it is about proving that spring was just the beginning. And today, they will fight to win again and establish their kingdom here in Madrid at home. It is finally time to kick off the 2025 LEC Summer Finals.
Madrid, ¿estáis preparados? Vuestros finalistas ya están aquí. G2 Esports y Movistar KOI. El mejor equipo de la historia de Europa, el mejor equipo de la historia de nuestra región. Ruido para G2 Esports. Los actuales campeones de Europa, el equipo que me representa, el equipo que nos representa y que representa a España, Movistar KOI. Madrid, aquí termina la final de la LEC. Para nosotros es un orgullo estar hoy presentes delante de nuestro público, delante de nuestra casa, para ser hoy sí campeones de Europa, otra vez delante de nuestra gente. Pero hoy termina la final de la LEC. Va a ser un duelo histórico. G2 Esports contra Movistar KOI. Al mejor de 5 desde Madrid.
Aquí vemos el trofeo, el mayor honor del League of Legends europeo. Dos titanes están a punto de luchar por él en el legendario suelo madrileño. Es un verdadero privilegio jugar aquí en el corazón de Madrid. ¡Madrid, estáis listos! El equipo más condecorado de la historia de Europa, G2. En primer lugar, el Top Father Broken Blade. Él está buscando cambiar su destino. Skewmon. 2. En Europa, él es padre de todos. Caps. El único francés que puede silenciar esta arena, Hansama. Buscando la redención definitiva, Lavrov.
¡Ay, ay, 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 ay! ¡Que viene KOI! ¡Vamos, hostia! El actual campeón de Europa. Quiero dar la bienvenida al top laner, al hijo de la Charo, al cocinero, Walter White. Capitán, 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 te quiero. Javier Prades Batalla es nuestro capi. ¡Vamos, Javi, hostia! El medio, yo ya le llamo José, yo ya le llamo Joselito. Es español este tío. Yo. Como A de Carry, desde Murcia. ¡Qué bueno eres, David! El niño maravilla. Este chaval es muy bueno. ¡Qué bueno eres, Álvaro! ¡Qué bueno eres, Álvaro!
Comienza ahora una batalla histórica por ese legendario trofeo, librada ante los mejores fans del mundo.
Hoy termina la final de la LEC. Hoy solo un equipo puede levantar este título y esperemos que sea COI, las cosas como son.
Cada pelea, cada jugada, cada segunda, todo culmina aquí.
Madrid, ¿estáis preparados? ¿Sí o no?
Europe.
¡Vamos, hostia!
Europe, are you ready?
¡Que empiece la final de la LEC! ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
Our spring champion at the pub in España. G2, be wary. Koi are coming.
We've already disappointed the fans twice already this year.
And the Vamos, Koi!
We've worked really hard this whole year to earn that trophy and that moment to feel that victory. This time I'll be ready. It's a privilege to play in front of the Spanish crowd.
Voy a recordar la G2, que pueden fichar a Hansama, pueden fichar a Calista, igual que quieran, pero nunca me van a volver a ganar porque somos el mejor equipo de Europa.
Hansama looking for the solo kill, the fellas are Hansama takes down Super.
There's no taking back, but we at least end the year on a win, and we proved that we actually learned something from our losses.
That's Cassante. He runs in, Mirwin takes one, he shields out, flash on, flips again, wait, double pass maker.
I still wanted more than anything this LEC, so we're gonna win it all.